Thanks a lot for staying with us on Kings of Cricket. I'm Shivani Gupta. India have completely dominated, pummeled the Kiwi bowlers. King Kohli has scripted history at the Wankhede today after getting his 48th and the record equaling 49th ton in ODI cricket in this World Cup campaign. Today he went one up the legendary Sachin Tendulkar's record in just 291 matches. He's dominating this edition of the World Cup, sitting comfortably at the top as the highest run scorer with 700 runs already. There's possibly one more match coming up. I'm saying possibly only because I have to be fair to the other team as well. Not only this, the other Indian batters were also lethal, unstoppable. Rohit Sharma, as has become the template for him in this World Cup, gave an explosive start to the team, not really caring about how long he lasts. Gill gave a superb start as well. He had to go out retired hurt due to cramps and pain, but came back towards the end. Shreyas Iyer also scored a fantastic century. India have scored a mammoth 397 for 4. The task is cut out for the Kiwi batting lineup. Let me remind you that India's bowling attack is the best in the World Cup and will not be easy for any team. Even the Kiwis, who came close to chasing down 388 versus Australia and fell short by just a bit. As I mentioned, Shubman Gill had to go out of the match and when he was in his 70s. There was a bit of an injury concern. He did come back to bat. We don't really know or have a word about what could the contours of that niggle or injury could be. There's been no official word just yet. But of course, the team would be hoping that if he was fit enough to come back and bat, that he's going to be fit going forward, possibly to that final as well. With that, let me introduce you to our World Cup experts, Mohinder Amarnath, Ayaz Memon, Venkatesh Prasad, Murli Karthik, all joining us. And Graham Swan is with us, joining us from England. Graham Swan, let me begin with you. A masterclass from Virat Kohli yet again. He finally gets his 50th, the one that everybody had been waiting for.
Absolutely. You know, we said before the show, or somebody on the panel said that would this be the day that he gets there? And he was brilliant, but what he did, he capitalised on the incredible start by Rohit Sharma. That is how to lead from the front and how to set the stall out for the rest of your team. I couldn't get my eyes around it. The first 4 or 5 overs, what New Zealand were doing, trying to bowl short to Rohit Sharma, I mean, that is just absolutely crazy. But the way he started with such speed and such ferocity, he set the scene for everyone else. And Virat Kohli batted beautifully. In fact, everyone did. There's not a single person who didn't go out there and bat incredibly. And before the game, do you remember we were talking, saying what would be a good score? Yes. And we dared say 300, you know, use pitch and everything. Got 397. This Indian team just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking, Jimmy Paji, about the template that Rohit Sharma has set for himself, the template that's working so well for the team. He comes, he plays his natural cricket, he hammers the bowlers all around the park, gives India that start that they need, destroys the confidence of the opposing bowlers, and then, you know, his job is done.
Yeah, I think he's leading from the front. I think this is what India needed today. I think this is what he has been doing in the tournament right through from the first game. And once you have that explosive start, you know, the others are cashing on it. You said Virat Kohli, Iyer, or you talk about Shubman Gill, or anybody for that matter. So I think they have got 3. To me, I've never seen anything like this in my life, the way they have played this game.
Yeah? A word about Virat Kohli?
Oh, yes.
Going one above Sachin Tendulkar.
No, I think you can't compare people. I think they're from different generations, and Sachin has always been great and he's always remained a great player. But I think to break Sachin's record, I think it's a great, great achievement.
What do you think makes Virat Kohli so special? What do you like about it?
His hunger for the game, hunger to perform, hunger to do well for his team, for his country. So it's all there, it's visible, you know, that's why he's been consistent. Yes. And I think consistency is the key. And he's one of those guys, you know, his score was 700 runs in this World Cup, you know, like you probably score those runs in about 20 test matches or something.
You know, Ayaz, when it was about Sachin Tendulkar's career, we used to talk about his longevity.
Yes.
And actually, Virat could match him in his longevity as well. Not just in the records that he's making.
Well, absolutely. Longevity and consistency, as Jimmy Pa says. So, I think, look, scaling Mount Tendulkar is a mighty achievement. You know, he's been driven to it. His 3rd century, he missed a couple.
Yes,
he would have had maybe 4 or 5 centuries. But that's not the point. The record is obviously now his. But I think the sustenance he's provided. Remember, I think India's journey began when he got a life in the first match. A dolly was dropped by Mitch Marsh.
could be the turning point of the tournament.
Of the tournament.
Yes.
That's when Virat Kohli and KL Rahul rescued India,
Yes.
and that momentum hasn't been lost, and he's been the fulcrum. I mean, Rohit has given, you mentioned about the template, and that's the template. He'll give you the blazing start. These are the guys who will consolidate, and then you've got such outstanding finishers. Shreyas Iyer, back-to-back centuries, and at what tempo? And then Rahul. So, this is a fabulous batting unit. I haven't seen anything better than this.
Venki, there is literally no answer to this batting lineup. It's not just the fact that they are talented, it's also the form that they're carrying. All of them, each and every one of them, they're capitalizing, they're full of confidence, and literally no bowling attack is measuring up.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this earlier. Also, I said that the opposition bowling definitely is not consistent in their line and lengths. You know, like the Indian bowlers. I should keep saying that because I think our bowlers have been fantastic. Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami, all of them bowling those 3/4 to back of length and not giving room or not giving any bad balls for the batters to play the shots. And if you look at today's bowling also. I mean, whether it's Saudi or Lockie Ferguson or even Trent Bolt, they were trying a bit too much. They were not sticking to one, bowling in one area, I suppose. They were bowling on both sides of the track. They are bowling up to the batter and they're bowling short ball. It was not a bouncer, it was a short ball. Okay, and on a pitch like that, which is a belter, obviously you've got to be extremely consistent and even your variations, whatever you're trying to use, I think you've got to be, effective. I think that was not the case, and that was not the case in most of the bowling attacks. Whether you take South Africa or England for that matter, I think they have not been consistent. That's one of the reasons why I think we have got 2 or 3 bowlers who are in the top 10. Amongst the highest wicket takers.
Just a word, I think you mentioned earlier that the team is in that zone where they're not really looking at personal milestones or records anymore. They will come if you perform well. But this one has to sit right up there, isn't it? This one has to be special.
Yeah, 100%. Because look, you've been talking about this team as the bogey team. This is the team which has hurt you the most in ICC championships. And just to have a relaxed approach about it. And again, we've all been talking about what this entails for the team. What sort of a mindset do they come in? They have not changed anything. Just a couple of the first 2 overs, it was like stamping their authority on the opposition. It was as if you can still be a good bowler, but I'm going to come at you. And that is something which continued. It continued right till the end. Some of the shots that were played were just breathtaking. Breathtaking. And absolutely you're thinking, oh, thank God many of us are on the other side and lost our hair and in an air-conditioned box rather than going and bowling there.
Also, probably in a way, I think Rohit Sharma shows them the way, I suppose, in terms of playing shots because he reads the pitch extremely well. He's been doing that consistently and playing those shots which is on the rise. So, obviously, the moment Rohit Sharma is showing them the direction, I think the others start believing that they can play those shots and there's nothing much in the pitch. I think it's great way of leading.
This tournament, look at him. I think 347s or 46s, 187. He could have also been one amongst the top run getters if he had thought about personal glory or personal gains.
No, but he's clearly found the role that he wants to play, or they've decided this is the role Rohit Sharma is going to play. Forget whether he gets a 50 or not, whether he bats long or not.
I'll do the dirty job. He's saying, I'll do the dirty job. I'm the captain. I'm not playing for personal glory. You guys, Shubman, you're the young man. You go for it, Virat. Be the linchpin, be the fulcrum, as everybody has been saying. We will work around your bat or revolve around you, and I'm going to do the dirty job.
I'll make the first 10 overs count for the Indian innings, and then you guys just have to build on from there. But we did mention, for example, Jimmy Paji, that Virat Kohli did not have a great record in knockouts for India in World Cups. So it is going to be personally very satisfying for him. As you said, his hunger, his desire. One of the things I have seen during his career is that he faces challenges, but he has the knack of working hard to overcome those challenges. He's done that. I mean, he used to struggle in England, for example, went back few years later, did well in England, and those are the hallmarks. So he always works on things he has not done well. And I think on the back of his mind would have been there कि मैंने knockouts में run नहीं बनाया है.
Apart from that, I think you learn from your mistakes. I think he's a great student of the game as well, because that's why he's fantastic. He's such a great player in all format of the game. So I think the other thing I like about him, his fitness. Because see, when you are physically so fit, the fatigue doesn't set in. That's why he can play long innings, inning after innings, and whatever he does, I don't know. But I think whatever he's been doing has been fantastic. He's helping the team, helping him. The way he's playing, I think he'll just carry on for I don't know how many years. I hope the more he'll play, the better the team will perform. So I think it's unbelievable the way he's batting, and he has been playing because he's playing cricketing shots. He's not slogging. So this is what also helping the team because there's no risk factor available here. He's not playing too much in the air, taking too much risk. So he's allowing the others also to play their normal game. So fantastic.
As we have been talking about how long Kohli could go on. Venki said earlier he could play another ODI World Cup. Given his fitness, he could, right? How long do you think he has?
Well, I think a 4-year horizon seems very reachable, eminently gettable.
Yeah.
Considering the kind of fitness he has and the hunger, it seems insatiable. He just seems to want more and more and more. And I think personally he must be setting landmarks for himself or milestones for himself going from here. So
Which is, what do you think that would be?
Scale Mount Tendulkar, 10,000 test runs and so on, I mean,
75 ODI tons.
you don't know. I mean, 100 centuries.
100 centuries.
And you keep going.
Yeah.
And as long as you've got the hunger for it and the sense of enjoyment, if you enjoy it, there's no fatigue, there's no fed upness, there's no tiredness, then I think nowadays with this fitness regimen that the modern cricketer has, playing till you're 37, 38, 39 is not unthinkable as it used to be in the past.
Absolutely. Graham, you mentioned that you were a little bit disappointed with the New Zealand bowling. Was it just that the Indian batsmen were too good, or do you think New Zealand did lose the plot a little bit, especially at the start, and then they just couldn't recover from there?
Well, without a doubt. Sometimes you do get a bit of shell shock going into this game with the whole pressure of the game, the knockout, India's record. You can understand why New Zealand would be quite bullish and thinking that they'll do well. But whoever their bowling coach and whoever their tactical analysis guy is, who said, let's bowl short to Rohit Sharma, let's test him out with long hops. Oh my word. You don't bowl short to Rohit Sharma. We all know that. He's got out once in living memory, once against Bangladesh and Pune on the hook shot, which was a blip after hitting 2 sixes. You know full well in a bowler's meeting, you say, right, we pitch it up, we try and move the ball away from Rohit Sharma, we try and get him driving, get him nicked off with the new ball. And it was very unusual for such good bowlers and good tacticians like Trent Bolt and Tim Southey. They just looked nervous. They looked like they were completely shell-shocked. That's why I said earlier that Rohit Sharma's 40-odd today, I mean, when you look at the scorecard afterwards, you'll go straight past it and you'll see the 200s and the 80. That 46 in record time, setting the scene, is honestly, it's one of the knocks of the tournament for me. Absolutely brilliant. And after they've gone so expensive at the top, on a small ground like the Mankadi, quick outfield, brilliant batting lineup, there was no way back. And it was just, it was all down to India's brilliance. But yeah, New Zealand completely shell-shocked.
And certainly a little bit of the confidence that you do give yourself as a team, Graham, in a knockout match, even against a big total. Surely the New Zealand team would be a little deflated with what has happened.
I can tell you this, there'll be 1 or 2 players in that New Zealand camp who are looking at the scoreboard thinking, the other 9 will look at that scoreboard and go, nah, we're done. There's no way we can chase this. So that is brilliant. Scoreboard pressure and a half, 397. If India, the only way India lose this game, if they concede 250 in the first 20 overs, then they're in trouble. But I can't see that happening.
Against this bowling lineup, I don't think so. Yeah, Venki?
No,
there's
I don't think
there's
so.
not that much that could go wrong for us.
I know, isn't it? I mean, the way they're bowling, if they get a couple of wickets in the first 10 overs, the first power play, then they're on the back for the Kiwis. So it's next to impossible if they lose a couple of wickets up front. It's next to impossible to chase this mammoth score.
I mean, if they chase this, hats off. And whatever else you want.
They would definitely go into chase. It's not that they're going to. They're not going to
give up at the start.
Give up or give in or whatever. They'll definitely try to get those runs. And we have been talking about them coming close to chasing that Australian score of 390 or something like that, right? So they do have a good batting lineup, but then for that, they cannot be losing wickets up front, and they need to have big partnership, and they have to be really dominant.
Yeah, you need to have a good run rate from the very beginning. You can't lose any wickets. It has to be near spotless run chase for you to chase 400, isn't it, Jimmy Baji? Is there any team, would this team have the belief that no, we can do it?
No, they'll try. They won't give it up, definitely, because you're playing the semi-finals of the World Cup, because you're good enough to be there. That's why you're playing this game. So they will give their best, actually. What they really need is a good start. Whether it happens or doesn't happen, we don't know. But I think the Indians have a quality bowlers here, whether you talk about any bowler, for all 5 bowlers, they're quality bowlers. Bumrah is there, Shami is there, Siraj is there, the 2 spinners there, Jadeja and Kuldeep. So I think there's no respite for this guy, because the ball is spinning as well, because they did not try to spin. This is what they were lacking in. There was so much pressure on them when they were bowling to any batter. So batter is hitting them all over the ground. So this is what I think they missed the trick over here. But Indian definitely spinners will get.
So the chase is on only if they get, say, about 100 runs for just 1 wicket in the first 10 overs. What do you say?
Minimum 100.
Maybe slightly more, I would say, to set a platform. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The thing is that, as Jimmy Baji was saying, and we've been talking about this, there is no respite for the opposing batsman. You can come in and you can play very good ODI cricket, and it still is not going to be enough against a bowling lineup. But Venki, do you reckon, what do you make of the pitch first of all in the first half? Do you reckon there could be any issues for India with the dew factor, the batting getting easier, for example, in the second half as well, post those 10-12 overs?
See, it's a belter. It's a fantastic track to bat on. So that's what I'm saying. In the first 10 overs, if the New Zealand, the Kiwis can get 100 runs in the first power play with the new ball and just 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle, and there's no 2 catching like how it used to be before. That was even tougher then, isn't it? So, and if they lose just a wicket, then the chase is on. If they lose a couple of wickets and if they're just, say, about 70 runs, then it's going to be tough for the Kiwis.
Who are you watching out for, Karthik, in this batting lineup?
Devon Conway. I think he's somebody who can put them in a good position, because he hits odd parts of the country. He's very different in the way he plays. And obviously, I've told you before as well, for me, Daryl Mitchell is a key figure there. It's literally go big or go home right now for New Zealand.
Yes,
I think, Shivani, they'll also be very knackered now after this kind of pounding that they've received.
Both mentally and physically.
Mentally and physically. And then they've got this looming target in front of them. So, as everybody's mentioned, that you need to get conceivably about 100 runs in 10, 11 overs, not losing a wicket or not more than 1. This is a tough call, because you have to take those chances, the big risks. And when you take the big risks,
it is the scoreboard pressure. You have to score at a quick pace right from the get-go. You cannot really take that much time to set in.
Somebody to have a blinder, absolute blinder. Somebody to have an absolute blinder.
2 guys to play innings of a lifetime.
Yeah,
like that.
And it has happened before, isn't it? Chasing 400 odd runs. You're good in statistics.
Yeah, South Africa
did it against Australia.
South Africa, Australia, they did that.
Yeah.
Graham, if you were in the dressing room, what are you going to be telling this Kiwi team?
It exactly is that. As Rory Carson just said, it's go hard or go home. This is a semi-final. They're chasing 397, and the only way for New Zealand to play is absolutely fearless and almost reckless cricket to get there. I'm going to tell you this: they have no chance of chasing down 397. I'm the independent, impartial observer. So India are in the final. The bowling lineup for India is too good. The wicket will suit bowling second. It is turning. Jadeja is not going to be easy to play on this pitch. I think Jadeja will be top wicket taker for India. And I know that it's a knockout game and it's a nervy time. But if you can't feel relaxed with 397 on the board, then you can never feel relaxed.
So the only person nervous here has been Shivani the whole day. Right? even when the pre-show was finishing, she was the only one who was nervous.
I was nervous when, of course, we started out, because we've seen this happening before, and the knockout pressure. I was feeling it, even if not the Indian team. I don't know.
Sure, just on the issue of the pitch, all that concern is now unfounded. Whether it's going to be a rank turner, whether it was played on this pitch or that pitch, a team makes 397.
And nobody is going to say it was a belter to start and suddenly it started spinning just when the Indians are about to bowl.
Well, you know that people will say that. A certain set of people will say that.
Yes, cynics are always there, so you can come up with anything.
No, but I think on the pitch issue, I think Graham had some strong views on that. And I think the point was, I asked that it's not so much whether the pitch will suit India or not. Should it be something that should be happening at this late? The ICC has released a statement saying that this is not uncommon. The pitch is not a concern. It's not like it's going to play badly or one way or the other. So it shouldn't be that big an issue.
Yeah.
What's your view?
This will be the ICC's dream pitch. When the team makes 397, the other team is trying to chase it. If they get anywhere close to it, you will get almost 800 runs in the day.
They'll be happy.
They say the pitches and outfield monitoring process has clearly said that it needs to be an acceptable pitch. Nobody said you go by the numbers.
There's no rules
Yeah,
that
there's
bars
no
this
rule.
pitch.
It just has to be a good pitch which is presented or produced by the home association. It's at their discretion with Andy Atkinson being close to them. So as long as it's a good pitch, whether 400 is scored, and why is it that only when 400 runs are scored, it's a good pitch?
A good pitch,
As long as you've got a good game and both teams are equipped enough to give you that good game, I think it's fine. And as soon as it starts spinning, people will say it's a bad pitch. But if it seems around, nobody will say that it's a bad pitch.
No, I know that's a complete
So, basically, just correct me. At what time that the groundsman, the curator, needs to hand over the pitch? I think it depends on it. So it doesn't matter which pitch they're going to play on or what they're going to do about the pitch. It all depends on at what time they're going to hand over the pitch to the authorities. I think so. Probably, I guess it is say about a couple of hours, maybe an hour before the toss or something. Till then, it is under the control, I suppose. I mean, if I'm right, that's what the laws. Jimmy Paji, do you have any idea on that?
No. I think once it's ready and then just give it to the umpires and then it's all
Exactly.
decided.
So till then, it's in the control of the groundsman and the curator.
Correct.
I think Graham has something to add to that. Yes, Graham, you're not convinced with all of that. The ICC has publicly said at least what the managers of the World Cup have said.
I did have fairly strong views, so I still actually stick with my views. You should play on fresh pitches. However, this pitch used is better than 90% of world cricket pitches. So I'm not angry at all about that. But I think it's fair. You should have a fresh pitch for an ICC semi-final or a final, in my view. But what's going to happen here in the second innings? I mean, if it is a used pitch, it didn't show many signs of wear. It's whether the ball does turn with the dew. That's the only way New Zealand can hope to chase this down, I reckon. If there's a lot of dew and the ball just becomes basically like throwdowns, half volleys, but I can't see that happening.
So we know where Graham stands. Let me go across our panel and see what chances they're giving to New Zealand. Jimmy Paji, why don't you start?
No, I think it's
2%?
Yeah, it's a huge target, because you need a brilliant start.
Yeah.
Only then probably
Maybe two centurions.
Maybe more than that.
Maybe more than that, yeah.
But it's not impossible.
I know it's not impossible, Venki.
So anything can happen in cricket. That's a tagline. Anything can happen in cricket.
It's a simple game where some of the funniest things have happened.
Yeah.
Oh, so I think we've got a very sober view on what can
but
happen.
the thing is, look, you can't just say that India has won and walked away. Yes, we have put ourselves in a great position. Actually, it's a position where 10 out of 10 you would think or back yourself to win.
Yes.
But the thing is,
Stranger
again,
things
you
have
said
happened.
this. दूसरे भी खेलने आए हैं.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for them, it's nothing. It's just 50 overs, and otherwise they're catching a flight back. So they have to throw everything that they've got, and in that, and as Swanee said, sometimes when you play reckless cricket and ho gaya, you've been pushed to a corner, you never know who might come out blazing. So Swanee thinks no chance.
Yeah, Swanee is wanting to add something. Yes, Swanee.
The percentage of New Zealand winning this game, that's what I'm giving them.
He actually brought in a pen and paper and made my 2% 0%.
I just happened to have a pen in front of me.
It would be the most extraordinary run chase if it happens.
Yeah.
It's never happened in the World Cup.
Almost happened by New Zealand against Australia.
Yeah. But 397 hasn't happened. 400 scores has been chased down by South Africa against Australia, but in a bilateral series. A World Cup knockout stage. I mean, if it happens,
But imagine the weight of history on the Kiwis, right? As we were saying, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
And here's a situation where you have to play out of your skin, have to maybe break a few records on the way to get to your World Cup final.
See, Glenn Maxwell did the other day. Isn't
Yeah,
it? I'm
but-
just
but
saying.
that's-
So you've got to be wary of it. You've got to be
All
aware of
she
it.
wants to hear is what Swani said. Please say it to Shivani. Otherwise, she'll be a nervous wreck for the next 50 overs.
No, I'm just wondering, of course, stranger things have happened, and I want to give all the respect to New Zealand, but, you know, I don't know.
Okay, Shivani, we are with you.
Well,
Whatever you
Shivani-
say, we'll go with you.
I don't know. I think I am with Swani on this. I don't see it happening. I know my brain is telling me it can happen. I just don't see it happening. But now that I've said it, who knows? This is, you know, with journalists and commentators, this is a curse. You should never say anything on air because exactly the opposite thing happens. So I don't know what happens now. But yes.
Shivani has got caught in the, you know, in the syndrome of agar and magar. Agar ye ho gaya, magar wo ho
No, no.
gaya.
I think,
If and but.
you know, if they get 150 for no loss, maybe.
In what
In
over?
how many
30th over?
overs?
12 overs?
Well, overs is a-
12 overs, 150.
Yeah.
Then Virat and Rohit are definitely bowling.
Yeah. Then Virat and Rohit are bowling.
Okay, but you know, that thing about, you know, New Zealand having all to play for as well, and their history has to be weighing on them. I think some of their greats, the likes of Stephen Fleming and all, have talked about it.
Yeah.
Just, you know, being there and thereabouts and always being also runs and never the winners.
But Shivani, this was weighing also on the Indian team before they played this innings. You know, I mean, having lost twice in the semi-finals, knockout, they haven't fared well in ICC tournaments over the last decade. So this is also, you know, and they've gone out and played, I thought, fantastically. So if New Zealand have to win this match, they have to be better than fantastic.
And also the New Zealand management had to do this haka dance in front of them to motivate them.
So, okay, 0%.
Whatever you say, Shivani.
No, you tell me
Whatever
what
you
percentage.
feel, Shivani.
Tell me, honestly.
Obviously, look, you are backing India. You are backing India, but don't rule out anything. That's all
I
I'm
also
saying.
said the same thing.
No, that's exactly what that is exactly what we've been saying. But you want us to say 100% India.
No, I don't. But, Venki?
We are with you.
We are with you.
Yeah, Swani and I are really going to get it if something really terrible happens in this match, as far as the Indian perspective is concerned. But so, Swani, I'm looking forward to your support, you and I together. And in our, you know, post-match show, we're going to have to support each other.
Meanwhile, Swani added another zero there to his
0.0%. All right, I have to take your leave. Our cricket panel will be back with us after the Indian innings, bowling innings as well. So stay with us. We're slipping into a very short break, but here's what the fans think.